most people focus on interventions. They want to take pills or do this or that. Few people measure, but measurement is equally, if not more valuable, because then you see what works and doesn't work.
Would you mind just talking me through some of the equipment we've got here, when you use it and what it does?
Yep. So I'll start over here. This here is it images your face in multispectral imaging. So if you put your chin right here, your forehead there, we turn it on and it would give you 10 markers of your face, like UV damage, browns, reds, pore size, and it would age your entire face. And so I did this with my kids. I would tell them to wear sunscreen, and they'd be like, Dad. And then I had them scan there, and they saw the UV damage from being in the sun, and they're like, oh, because you look like a zombie, it's terrifying.
Right.
And so then they started wearing sunscreen because they could see the data. So we use this on a regular basis to measure the skin health of my face. And then the one right behind it here, same thing. This uses autofluorescence. You put your forearm down, and it gives you a cardiovascular age according to your skin. So all these measurement devices. This is a test that we're doing right now that you prick your finger and do a few spots of blood. It measures your speed of aging, which we're tracking very carefully with my speed of aging. So we have a few of these tests we're doing this week. This is a professional grade hearing system. I have damage in my left ear from shooting guns as a kid. Okay. I would hold a gun like this and be exposed with my left ear. So my left ear is age 64 in my hearing capacity. So we're working on rejuvenating my hearing.
And how likely is that? That sounds like an incredible breakthrough that could have significant repercussions for an awful lot of people around the world.
Yeah, the field is very new. So there's not a lot of good therapies. So we're trying a few things here and there, but nothing as promising as a few other possibilities we have for reversing aging.
Okay.
So we're aware of it, we're working on it. For example, no sound in this house is ever above 80 decibels. So we have sound meters everywhere. My son the other day sent me a text from his class at school, and it was like 95 decibels in his class of all the kids very excitedly talking, and he's like, Dad, way too loud. So, I loved it.
What about sight? Because obviously sight's the big one in terms of how so many people are genetically predisposed to sight issues, and it's something as we age our sight goes. What can you tell us a little bit about the technology there and your hopes when it comes to sight?
Yeah, so we do a lot of things on eyes. So a lot of people don't do preventative things. We have 2 different eye drops we do for eye care. I have a little device. I stimulate the side of my nerve right here that stimulates tears in my eyes because I have dry eye as a condition.
Okay.
So then we measure it every month. So I currently have perfect eyesight, but we're trying to get ahead of it. So we really take eyesight very seriously. We try to stay ahead of it, but it's an active engagement with it. Yeah.
And what else have we got here?
These machines. So this one's a professional grade ultrasound machine. People are familiar with this, looking at babies in the womb. We do this for my entire body. So we look at heart, lungs, we do my musculoskeletal. So we'll look at my tendons and ligaments. We'll look at my brain, prostate, the whole body. And it's helpful because having this kind of medical grade imaging in my house, I can see the effects of my workout program. I avoided COVID for 3 years, and I got COVID in November. So we were able to track in real time what was happening to my body from COVID. It's bad. It's really bad.
Okay.
Yep. So typically, if you ask a friend, it's like, yeah, I didn't feel very well for a couple of days. Then I came back, wasn't that bad.
What insights did you glean from the research you were able to get and the data you were able to get that maybe is missing from most people's understanding of the disease?
We have long-term tracking on my lungs, so we got to see it had a dramatic effect. It aged my lungs something like 30 years.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So we need to see if that's temporary, if it's going to come back. We're doing some rejuvenation therapies now.
Does it appear to be reversible at this stage? Is it too early to say?
We'll see. We're doing our measurement in a week.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to see if our therapy worked.
Okay. In terms of kind of degenerative brain diseases as well, for so long it's been that they're genetic conditions. Science is suggesting there's a huge diet and lifestyle component of that. How are you tracking the kind of things that are going on in your brain? Obviously one of our most important organs, if not the most important, and medicine simply isn't there for some of those issues in the way that it is for other physical ailments. What can you tell us about where you are in that space?
Yeah, so we measure the brain as frequently as anything else. So we do a lot of MRI. And so the diet you ate downstairs, the devices we have here, the routine I have, the air filters, it's all built around whole body health. And so we're watching the brain as closely as any other organ. So with some of the interventions we've done, there's a thing in your brain you can have called white matter hyperintensities. They emerge in patients who have multiple sclerosis. They're just like, it's like scarring for the brain.
Okay.
You don't want it.
Okay.
So I had them for certain reasons. And since starting our protocol, I've reversed that by 20 plus years. So we are tracking the brain age markers very closely, and the entire protocol is meant to support brain, healthy brain aging in both ways.
What are your hopes for some of the insights you're going to glean from your research in terms of identifying those degenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, because so much can't be done until it's almost far too late? Yeah. Are you hoping there's going to be a huge crossover benefit to the field of medical science as a whole by what you're doing here?
Yeah, I think the value is Blueprint is a scientist's dream, because you get all this data, you get it in a closed loop system where you're feeding back and getting that feedback loop. And right now it's very hard to make systematic progress. Doing these things are very hard. To set up clinical trials, and then it's very expensive. Sure. If this were just a normal routine thing and more people had the access to measurement and wanted to do it willfully, there's an opportunity for a lot more data, a lot more intuition building, and a lot more evidence to emerge. But just this whole idea, measurement. So most people focus on interventions. They want to take pills or do this or that. Few people measure. But measurement is equally, if not more valuable, because then you see what works and doesn't work. And so Blueprint is an invitation to measure everything, because that's the key to improvement.
So you're coming in here every day, or are there certain treatments you're doing bi-weekly? How often does it work?
Yeah, this is, the facial measurement is every 2 to 4 weeks, depending upon the protocol. This is every quarter. This is every quarter. These 2 lasers we use for the body, whole body skin treatment, we use these weekly. Okay. This is
yeah, what's this one here? We've not even covered this one yet.
Yeah. This is the bed where it all happens. So this one is high frequency electromagnetic stimulation. Okay. And we got this device, we bought it because, well, I guess 2 reasons. One is it flexes muscles in an efficiency that you can't do via exercise. So for example, if you put this device on your midsection, it's the equivalent of 20,000 sit-ups in 30 minutes. And so it allows you to achieve strength and stability in your body you just couldn't otherwise do. And then the other thing is we were trying to improve my sleep quality. And one thing I was trying to fix is I was getting up at night to go to the bathroom 1 time per night, which is normal. But getting up and going to the bathroom caused a disturbance in my sleep, where I wanted to just go to sleep and then wake up in the morning without waking up at all. And so we started using this device for improving pelvic floor strength and bladder strength, because as you age, your bladder gets less strong, which means you control your bladder less. And so it forces you to get up at night and go to the bathroom. And so I started doing this, and it did improve it. So now my sleep is at record highs. Okay. So I'm getting up fewer times at night. Then it had a humorous off effect where
I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, it increased my nighttime erections, both in strength and duration. And so I mentioned this to Vance when he was writing the article. I didn't realize that we were speaking about the article. he had asked, someone had a channel through him, like, hey, what do I do about my penis? And I was like, actually, we just found this really funny thing. And so, yeah, so that's been a kind of a funny...
unexpected side effect.
Yeah.
We've not really spoken about exercise at all, but you do work out every morning. Could you tell me what a typical training session looks like, and how long you train and what you're focusing on? Mm-hmm.
I try to flex and stretch every muscle in my body.
And that'll be every day?
Every day.
Okay.
Yeah, I just feel like it readies me for the day. My whole body feels limber. Everything just feels great. I have 0 aches and pains. So it's really like a daily vitamin. It just helps me feel the best about life. So I can show you the gym if you want.
That'd be fantastic, thank you.
Oh, then I'll show you the one last guy. This is LED therapy, so just don't look directly into the reds, but it's on the periphery is fine. I do this 3 times a week, whole body, front and back. We have a new panel coming in a month, so I'll do full body just with 1 panel left to right.
Okay, wow.
But there's a lot of benefits on...
What are the top line benefits of this machine?
There's thousands of papers showing improved healing, better energy. It's just overall healthy for the body. Okay. Yeah.
And how long will you spend underneath there 3 times a week?
12 minutes.
12 minutes.
Yeah, it's red.
I knew it'd be a very precise amount of time.
Yeah. Oh, just whenever. Yeah, it's red and near.